Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Hi there.
So today we're tackling something really practical, how to actually learn more effectively. Our source is a blog post from Oakley Grammar. It's called 9 Tips on How to Study Effectively for VCE.
Right, VCE, that's the big final year exam system in Victoria, Australia.
Exactly. But honestly, the advice here, it goes way beyond just, exam prep.
Oh, definitely. These strategies are much broader.
Yeah, they're about building a better relationship with learning itself. So our goal is to kind of explore them and see how they might apply to, well, whatever anyone listening is trying to master.
Absolutely. And what's interesting is how these tips, even though they're maybe framed for students under pressure, they really tap into fundamental principles. Cognitive function, well-being, things that help anyone absorb and hold on to information.
Whether it's formal study or just like learning new skill for fun.
Exactly. Professional development, personal enrichment, you name it.
Okay, so let's dive in. Tip number 1. Prioritize adequate sleep.
The classic. Seems obvious, maybe.
It does, but they really emphasize it. They call it a basic but critical foundation.
And they back it up, right? I think I saw a stat in there.
Yeah, this kind of blew me away, actually. They mentioned research suggesting that not getting enough sleep can reduce your learning ability by up to 40%.
40, wow, that's huge.
It really underscores how vital sleep is, doesn't it? It's not just about feeling rested.
No, it's biological. It's about memory consolidation. The process is happening while you sleep.
Like solidifying what you learned during the day.
Precisely. Deep sleep, for instance, that's crucial for declarative memory, facts, events.
So skimping on sleep literally means you're hindering your brain's ability to, file things away properly.
You got it. You're making it harder to store that new information effectively.
The recommendation in the post is 8 to 10 hours a night for teenagers.
Which is quite a lot, but probably accurate for that age group.
And they also stress sticking to a consistent schedule. Same bedtime, same wake-up time.
That regularity is key. It helps regulate your body's internal clock.
Makes you reflect on your own routine.
Yeah.
How much better could we learn if we actually prioritized sleep and kept it consistent?
And it's not just teens. While the exact hours might shift a bit as we age, the principle holds. Consistent quality sleep is essential for focus, concentration, memory, right across the board.
Good point. Okay, moving on. Tip 2, provide healthy meals and snacks.
Brain food.
Exactly. Fueling the engine. The blog recommends, well, the usual suspects: greens, vegetables, nuts, berries.
Whole grains, fish, protein, all the nutrient-dense stuff.
Yeah, the good stuff.
And it makes sense. Your brain uses a lot of energy. It needs a constant supply of nutrients to perform well.
So specific foods actually help. It's not just general health.
Oh, yeah. Think about omega-3 fatty acids in fish. They're vital for brain cell communication.
Okay.
Or antioxidants in berries. They help protect brain cells. It's about providing the right building blocks and fuel.
And on the other side of the coin, they warn about too much caffeine in those energy drinks.
Right, and emphasize hydration, just plain water.
We all rely on caffeine sometimes for that boost. But then there's the crash, isn't there?
Exactly. That temporary lift often comes with a significant dip later, which can just sabotage your focus.
And dehydration. That's sneaky.
Very sneaky. Even being mildly dehydrated can mess with your attention span, your memory recall. It's often overlooked.
So it's worth asking yourself, I guess, are my food and drink choices actually supporting my brain or maybe working against it?
It's a conscious choice, really. Aiming for sustained mental energy.
Makes you rethink that 3 p.m. chocolate bar, maybe? Okay, tip 3. Harness the power of exercise.
Get moving.
Yeah, physical activity for mental gain. The blog points out something interesting. Just 20 minutes of exercise before studying can sharpen concentration.
That's a great practical tip. It's not just about long workouts.
No, and the science behind it.
Well, there's the obvious increased blood flow, bringing more oxygen to the brain.
Right.
But also, exercise triggers the release of BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor.
Okay, sounds important.
It is. Think of it like fertilizer for your brain cells. It helps grow new neurons, strengthens connections. It's literally boosting your learning machinery.
So a quick walk or something before hitting the books is like a warm-up for the brain.
Exactly. Preps it for the mental challenge.
And they also mention longer-term benefits, right? Like more energy overall, less stress.
Absolutely. Thanks to endorphins. Stress is a huge learning killer, impacts memory, focus. Exercise is fantastic for managing that.
Creates a better mental state for learning.
Definitely. So how do you fit movement into your day? Could even a little bit before learning make a difference for you? Worth considering.
I can see that. Clearing the mental cobwebs. All right, tip number 4 takes us to our surroundings. Create an optimal study environment.
Setting the stage for focus.
Yeah, they stress quiet, comfort, good lighting, good ventilation.
The goal is minimizing distractions. Noise, clutter, they fragment your attention, makes it hard to go deep.
Good light helps with eye strain too, right? So you can focus longer.
Yep. And ventilation stops you feeling sort of sluggish and heavy.
They also suggest having enough desk space and keeping it tidy. I know for me, a messy desk usually means a messy mind.
It's a common link. Organization helps.
And choosing a spot away from, like, the main household traffic. The kitchen table maybe isn't ideal.
Seems obvious, but easily forgotten when you just need to sit down somewhere.
True.
It's really about being intentional. Designing a space that tells your brain, okay, it's time to focus now.
So what does your ideal learning space look like? And maybe what small tweak could make your current space better?
Good questions. Even small changes can help.
Okay, tip 5. Lay the foundation for success with effective preparation.
This isn't about cramming then.
No, definitely not. It's about consistency. Staying on top of things throughout the year.
Regular review, summarizing after each topic.
Yeah, they really push that. Regularly revisiting material.
Which makes sense from a brain perspective. You're reinforcing those neural pathways, making the information easier to retrieve later, like strengthening a trail by walking it often.
I like that analogy. And summarizing forces you to actually process it, right? Put it in your own words.
Exactly. Active processing leads to deeper understanding, not just passively reading.
They also suggest making a study list identifying weak spots.
Smart. Focusing your effort.
And using practice papers to build confidence. Plus, organizing notes logically. Seems basic, but
crucial. Trying to revise from a jumbled mess is incredibly frustrating and inefficient. Good notes are a valuable tool.
So, thinking about our own habits. Are we engaging actively as we learn, or saving it all for the end?
And what strategies could help build that stronger foundation during the process?
Good prompts. Okay, tip number 6. Develop a well-structured study timetable.
Time management enters the picture.
Yep. Creating a schedule, allocating specific times for different subjects or topics.
It provides structure, fights procrastination.
Yeah.
Gives you a roadmap.
And they make a smart point. Schedule study for when you're naturally most alert.
Knowing your own peak times, morning person, night owl.
Yeah. Work with your body clock, not against it.
Makes sense.
And this is interesting. They explicitly suggest exploring how you study, not just when.
Like specific techniques?
Exactly. Summarizing again, flashcards, mnemonics. They even mention the Pomodoro technique.
Oh, yeah, the short bursts of focus with breaks.
Right. Typically 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off. It highlights that the quality of study time matters, not just the quantity.
Definitely. Different methods work for different people and different material. Worth experimenting.
And crucially, the timetable shouldn't just be study, study, study.
No, schedule in the other stuff. Breaks, meals, family, fun.
Got to have balance to avoid burnout.
Absolutely essential.
Which leads us perfectly into tip 7. Emphasize the importance of breaks.
Yes. Don't just power through relentlessly.
The blog warns that leads to burnout, lower productivity. You sound familiar with anyone pulling all-nighters?
Probably. But it's counterproductive. Our brains genuinely need downtime to process and consolidate.
Pushing too hard just leads to mental fatigue.
Yeah, you hit a wall, focus tanks, retention drops. Breaks let you reset and come back stronger.
And what kind of breaks? They suggest things like seeing friends, walks, music.
Mindfulness, meditation. Basically, stepping away completely, doing something you enjoy.
Recharging the batteries.
Think of breaks as part of the learning process, not time wasted from it. They help prevent overload.
So what helps you recharge? And are you actually scheduling that in?
Good self-reflection. Are those breaks genuinely refreshing?
Right. Okay, tip number 8. Set realistic goals and celebrate progress.
Motivation and mindset coming in here.
Yeah. Setting achievable goals for each subject or task. Breaking big things down.
It makes it feel less daunting, right? You get that little dopamine hit each time you tick off a smaller step.
Builds momentum, creates a positive feedback loop.
Setting yourself up for wins.
And I really like this part. Celebrate the progress. Acknowledge the effort.
Yes, positive reinforcement. It boosts motivation, builds confidence. It's easy to focus only on what's left to do.
So true. Getting bogged down. But recognizing those small victories keeps you going.
It reinforces the good habits. Sustains you over the long term.
So how do you set your learning goals? Are they realistic? And crucially, do you pause to appreciate how far you've come?
Even small wins deserve a pat on the back.
Absolutely. Okay, final tip, number 9. Provide emotional support and be mindful of stress.
The human element, so important.
Especially when there's pressure, like with exams. The blog says, be a compassionate listener. Acknowledge the emotional side.
Learning can be stressful. Feeling heard and supported makes a massive difference. It reduces that anxiety.
Creates a safer space for learning, maybe?
I think so. Acknowledging stress is the first step to managing it.
They also advise open communication, offering guidance on stress management.
Practical help alongside the listening ear.
And this is such a vital message. Reminding people, maybe reminding ourselves, that our worth isn't defined by exam results.
Oh, fundamentally important. That pressure can be crushing. Perspective is key.
It applies beyond exams, too, doesn't it? In any learning situation where we feel judged or pressured.
Absolutely. Well-being underpins everything. If you're overwhelmed by stress, learning suffers.
So providing that emotional support, fostering a healthy mindset, it's foundational.
Definitely. How do you cope with learning-related stress? And who's in your support network? Knowing that matters.
It really does. So wrapping up this deep dive into these Oakley grammar tips. Wow. It's clear that effective learning isn't just about locking yourself away with books for hours.
Not at all. It's truly holistic.
Yeah, considering your body, sleep, nutrition, exercise,
Yeah.
your environment, how you prepare and manage time, taking breaks.
Setting goals, celebrating wins, and managing the emotional side. It all connects.
It's about nurturing the whole system, mind and body, for a learning journey that's, well, more successful, but also maybe more enjoyable.
Exactly. And like we said at the start, these aren't just study tips, they're life tips, really.
Yeah.
Principles for thriving whenever you need to learn and grow.
Well said. So for everyone listening, thinking about these 9 insights, maybe just pick one. What's one small, doable change you could make starting today to enhance your own learning process?
Make it a little more effective, maybe a bit more rewarding.
Just one small step.